We're watching the STPL. We saw set number one there between BWL. It's just because I read that. Between Bull and Media. Now, Bull did pull ahead, so one thing I did forget to show off, which I'll show off now, is the rank. Wait, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's the Group B rankings, or the Group A rankings. Let's just quickly have a look at that to see how things have changed after that last series. Okay, so as you can see, Bull Team took the win there, which did put them ahead of Meat. Wait. Oh yeah, it's week 4. I was like, how are they on 3-1? But Bull Team got the win. That actually puts them just ahead of Media to take the second place position. Now Naz still to play. They're going to be playing a little later on this week. But obviously that's going to give Bull a comfortable lead here over White Clan still. And that is not going to be good for them. FBW a little bit further behind White Clan as well. Does need to get themselves back on the board with this next win, but obviously we're going to be heading into our Group B match here, which when we look at the rankings, it's going to be between SouL and pSi Storm, so it's going to be between the top performing team, well, joint top performing team in Group B, and the sort of second from bottom team, joint bottom actually. Unfortunately, pSi Storm not having the best round so far. SouL Gaming are doing an incredible job here. They're going to be looking to extend their lead in Group B. Obviously, they do want to get a good score to get ahead of NetWars, but NetWars still to play as well. So obviously, lots still to play for. 8 weeks, I think. No, it is 7. Sorry, it's Group of 8. They all play each other. 7 weeks. So there is going to be 3 more weeks after the conclusion of week 4. But just have a look at our teams here. It's going to be SouL Gaming versus pSi Storm. And now, as I said before, SouL Gaming absolutely killing it this round. Last round they became 3rd in round 2. In overall, they obviously we went to the playoffs. They played against White in the first semi-final, did lose, and then played off against Red and beat them in the 4th place match. And tiebreakers are done by them playing each other again. So basically in round 1 we had a tiebreak between IRK and White Clan at the top of Group A. So they did play each other one more time, and then White did win that. So they got the better seed heading into the playoffs. And that's how we ended up with IRK in 2nd. In round 1 we had DM 4th and NetWars 3rd, and then White Clan won it. White Clan won round 2 as well. But either way, SouL Gaming have been killing it so far. pSi haven't had the best round. They've been playing against the best teams of their group so far, though. So it's been a little bit unfortunate for the scheduling for them, but they're going to be looking to put on a little bit better of a show here in match number 4 for them. So this is the 4th week out of 7 overall. So they don't have much chance to come back or they don't have any chance to make it into the playoffs if they lose today. But if they can take a win here on this map, then maybe we'll see that coming into effect. Now just have a quick look at the maps we're going to be seeing. It's going to be set 1 on Colosseum, set 2 on Benzene, set 3 on Icarus, set 4 on Athena 2, and set 5, if we do make it to it as we did in the last series, it's going to be an ace match on Katrina. And now just a quick look at the player table as well, just to show off that Dandy has been an insane job and Noob has done an insane job as well. We're going to see one of those players today. That's going to be Noob. But obviously this is the top 10 overall. It doesn't really account too much, but I am going to do something for the top 16 players at the end of STPL round 1. So if you are near the top of the board and you want to get further up, make sure your team fields you, make sure you get winning, and you have a chance of entering the tournament that I'm going to run, like the individual tournament that I'm going to run once STPL Season 1's over, and I'll be moving into STPL Season 2 after that. I'm obviously planning that at the moment. I know we're only part of the way through round 3. There's only one more round after this though, and then the grand finals, so slowly catching up to myself. Obviously it's been going since March. But just have a look at the matches we're going to be seeing here. It's going to be Scan versus Cold start us off. Buell versus Marine, Noob versus Headmaster, and Tai2 versus Mitak, as we obviously head into the 4 sets. Now, let's introduce our first 2 players. So for SouL Gaming, we are going to be having Scan, the man in the military, doing civil service for his military service. Does give him the evenings free to still play games if he so chooses to. And this man loves StarCraft. He's playing once again. He did go 2-0 last round, is 2-1 this round so far. He's currently 3-0 against Zerg though, so Psystorm's Cold is going to have a lot of work cut out for him. Now Cold, you did see that he had a little bit of trouble against Radley to get nuked to death, but he did nearly kill Radley. Radley incredibly resistant in that highlight video. That was shown off second, I think. So I know TT1 was quite impressed with those nukes, but this is going to be a little bit more of a standard TVZ, I'll imagine. But obviously, moving on to Colosseum 2, you do have the neutral creep outside of the natural. Now, the one thing that I've never understood about this map image that was released by Kesper, this is the official map image of the map. Like, you have the creep outside the natural, it doesn't go up onto the high ground though, on any version of this map, so this is like a really weird official map image they released. But either way, 4 spawns, top left, top right, bottom left and bottom right as well. Gas bases at the sort of third base, very easy to take natural, very easy to sunken off choke as well, so quite good for Zerg here. And if there's a map that is going to, or if there's a map and a person that's going to need it, it's going to be Cold here. Scan, incredibly powerful in TVZ, 1-1 so far on Colosseum 2 in the STPL, but that's going to take us in to game number 1 of this second set here. It's Scan versus Cold. Let's get going. You and me both, Gak. You and me both. I love desert tile set maps. And starting us off on this one, Colosseum 2, it's going to be in the top left-hand position. Our yellow Terran fighting for SouL. It's Scan. And his opponent, his opponent spawning. I got opponent and spawning as one word, spawning. His opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand side. We do have the blue Zerg fighting for pSi. It's Cold. And thanks, I don't know how to say your name. I'm going to say H-Ray Phil, but it's probably like Hooray Phil, isn't it, or something. But huge thanks, man. It does mean a hell of a lot. It is kind of hard to do this, like, I'm not gonna lie. I obviously have a lot of fun doing it, which makes it a lot easier. Like, I actually enjoy doing this a lot more than my actual job, so coming home, even though this is kind of like work hours wise, the second day at work, I actually enjoy it so much that I really don't mind. So I'm just glad that you guys find enjoyment in it as well, because obviously, I mean, I obviously enjoy my own tournament. I enjoy watching all the different games. I enjoy watching the players play, and I enjoy seeing them play on different maps that may be a little bit foreign to them. But obviously, without you guys enjoying it as well, the players wouldn't want to play, and we wouldn't be here at this moment in round 3 of STPL Season 1, looking like we could go into a Season 2 as well, as long as everything goes well. So, looks all well and good. Now you can see that Scan does not want to die to a sunken rush. He's immediately killing the sunken colony. Now this is something you don't honestly see very much on any map, but this is going to be the neutral sunken colony. That does give you that neutral creep here. Now the reason why he wants to do that is not only because he's going for a 1-1-1 behind this, but he's also walling off. Now I have played this map so many times on IC Cup. And I'm telling you, a sunken here when you're walling off is the most horrible thing in the world to try and deal with. It outranges Marines behind the wall. The Marines obviously behind the wall can't do any damage. And the only way you can actually hold off against it, now obviously this is purely anecdotal, maybe better players can have a better job, but you have to put a bunker on top of the ramp. It's the only way I've found to hold this off. Now, obviously we're not going to see it in this game, but it's certainly something to watch out for as we head into obviously head into round 3. We're sort of midway through at the moment, but there's going to be a lot more games coming up on Colosseum this week alone, and then it'll be map 3 on week number 5 even. So lots of possible Colosseum TVCs coming up. Now we are going to have this factory coming in from Scan. You can see he's pulled 2 off gas as well, so he is going for the 111. We'll see him put down his command center as natural very quickly. Now just to point out how easy it is to take your natural here, you see that Cold has gone for a 12 hatch. There's a kind of medium-sized ramp, but you'll see he's going to go for a sunken here. Now, not only does this allow you to build a sunken here, but it allows you to spread creep back towards your base. So you don't need a 3rd hatchery. You don't need to give up your natural choke. Obviously, that would be a huge problem if you did. But the benefit is from this as well, is this sunken, that's going to give him the ability to completely defend against any vultures. Now we are going to have a single vulture, going to have a machine chop coming in behind this. We'll have the starport behind this shortly as well, just going to be saving up enough minerals because the command center is on the way. And now we're definitely going to see a Wraith coming in here from Scan. Now he could always go for the fantasy style, which is the quick drop. Now Fantasy was really the first player who made the 111. Now this is really confusing. Look at that. That looks the same color. Even on the minimap, that's really hard to sort of figure out. But Fantasy was the player that really did make the 111 popular. Like obviously, Uve devised it. He used it first in a competitive match in 2009. It was then when Fantasy started using it. Now back then, Fantasy was going for his own kind of style of it. He went for a dropship quickly with speed vultures as well, mine sometimes. Now that did work out very, very well, but the more modern style of 111, which Fantasy kind of adopted in 2010, is you go for a fast Wraith. Now, not only does the Wraith push away the first Overlord from scouting you, it also allows you to do a little bit of drone damage. Now, obviously a little bit harder. We see that the Hydralisk Den already come in from Cold, so he knows exactly what he's playing against. And this is going to be the problem. I mean, the two Vulture are going to be able to kill this, but what are they going to do about this one? Unfortunately for them, this sunken colony is actually going to shoot back. Now, we actually have another creep colony being added on the high ground here. Now, this is a pretty weird hatchery location. You would have thought he'd put it somewhere in his main, but I guess it keeps it hidden. Scan does not yet know he's up against a 3 hatchery play. Obviously I turned off the wrong thing here, but it's going to be a while before he can even scout that. He is completely blind until this Wraith comes in. Now this is the other benefit of going for that Wraith early on. The Wraith gives you perfect scouting information, which is something that when you're going for bioplay you don't necessarily get. Obviously if you can get an SCV in and keep it alive, well done, but on this map you can't. The Sunken stops the SCV and there's very little you can do. Now back at home we are going to see Cloak coming in with a dropship, so he's kind of doing a little bit of a hybrid from both. Going to go into a Science Facility here as well. And now the reason for this Cloak is it allows him with a couple of Wraiths to stave off the Mulus, but the thing is, there's not that many Mulus coming in at the moment. There's going to be 4, 5, it looks like only 4 Mulus at once, so this isn't really going to be able to do too much. Scan really overly defending against Mulus. Now the reason for this is you don't obviously have Marines, you don't have a lot of turrets early on, you don't have Goliaths when you're going for this form of the 111. And Serio, thanks for the bits. I don't think it shows anything less than 100, so unfortunately that's not going to make me jump with the notification, but it's all good. There will be a ladder stream at some point, but I'm going to be busy for the next couple of days at least, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Big delay, we got the Mulus coming in, trying to do a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, I'm not going to really be able to do too much. Really good turret positioning, good usage of repair as well. Going to get an additional... Additional Wraith. Sorry, as I started talking, I started yawning. Now, here we go. This is the power of that dropship. There's not actually that much here. Back to defend. Now, it looks like Scan dropped in range of the Overlord. So, a perfect defense here by Cold. Gonna take down the drop before it can do anything. And that's all down to this Overlord. If this Overlord wasn't here, Scan would have been able to drop in a dark location. And it looks like Cold thinks he's got enough. He's going to go for a counter here. Now, there is 2 siege tanks. This is kind of unusual for a 1-1-1. And, I mean, he's not really going to be able to do too much. The Muteless going to be caught out by the Wraiths. Who's going to run into Cloak. So, these Wraiths going to be able to at least take down one of these Muteless. Makes it very difficult, though. Oh wow, Cold actually saves them all. That's very, very difficult. But obviously when the Muteless is stacked, it makes it very hard to do follow micro. Scan isn't banned. The only thing Scan isn't allowed to appear in is the KCM. And that's because he appeared in a tournament in China which had Savior at it. But realistically, for players like Scan, for players like Shiny, who is also banned from them, this is the, like, not necessarily the STPL, but like, the Chinese tournament had an insane prize pool, and it was the one place they were likely to win money, and Shiny actually did win that tournament, so that's why you do see players like Scan and Shiny not playing in KCM, not getting that kind of more steady income, and that's why you see Shiny a lot in foreign tournaments, because he is a professional streamer. He doesn't get that many viewers. He's very, very good at Terran. They're one of the top amateur players. They have both tried to get into ASL a lot of times. Now, Scan is kind of banned at the moment. Looks like Cold is going to be jumping in to the turrets here. Going to be doing a lot of damage. There's no Overlord here, but oh wow, the Glaives are actually going to be doing a lot of damage. The Overlord's coming in here as well. There's a lot of damage for Cold to be doing, actually. The Muteless getting very, very low, though. Not able to take down these Muteless, but the other 5 Muteless coming in from behind, killing a lot of this bio. And this is the weakness of the 1-1-1. Your bio is a lot later. The Irradiate did not get the damage it needed to do. And Cold is doing so much damage to Scan here. What a great maneuver by Cold, finding damage where there was no damage to be had. And Cold is going to escape with most of his Muteless alive. He's going into a 3rd gas. He's actually going to take it close, which I don't necessarily agree with. He should probably take this other main. And wow, you can see Scan immediately thinking, wow, there should be a 3rd coming up here. And there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, he's got 5 barracks now, but he lost a lot of bio. I mean, this right here is the extent of his army. 3 medics and 12 marines. Like, okay, there's 7 medics actually. There's 8 medics. This man is overdoing it on the medics because he knows he needs to keep his marines alive. Now, looks like Cold is gonna carry on. Now, just to carry on my story a little bit, Scan is technically banned from the ASL at the moment, but not by Africa TV. He is banned on the account of he's doing his military service. And they're not allowed, as far as I'm aware, Koreans in military service are not allowed to earn money in any way, shape or form. So that includes pro tournaments, includes streaming as well, which is why you don't see Scan streaming at all. But he is still able to play in the STPL Team League. Oh my god! Oh, he needs to split. This is a lot of damage. The Irradiate doing so much to these Mutelisks. Oh my god, another Irradiate as well. He's just grouped up once again, and look how damaged those Mutas are now. Great Irradiates by Scan, and that's the kind of maneuver he needs to make to get back in this game. Now Scan is still chasing around with this vessel, wants to try and get that Irradiate, not actually managing to do it. Now back at home, Cold is not going it. Well, he's going into his hive now. Queen's Nest is done. Hive on the way. No Muteless upgrades, no Hydra upgrades, obviously. So he's going to be going into Cracklings, I would imagine. But this is the moment where Scan thinks he's got enough to move out. 3 vessels, 3 tanks. The Muteless heavily bruised. And he is going to try... Wow, okay, that siege tank was initial de-drifting. It was like, wow. Like, speed boy, get up and burn it. But yeah, there we go. Obviously Scan going to be pushing forward with this army. There's a lot of bio. There's not actually that many units back here. The Lurkers going to be moving in though, jumping on top of the tanks. Good Irradiates so far, but these tanks are going to go down very quickly. I mean, there is a lot of Muteless still here. A lot of Blings getting on top of the bio. The Lurkers have been taken down though, and Scan has obliterated Cold's army. There's a single lurker back here, but it's not going to be worth too much. Gets another 4 kills. Does manage to take down the size of Scan's army, but that was a lot of lost supply there by Cold, who's trying to make it into Hive. He's got no defense at his third base now, and this is going to be a little bit too much for Scan to be pushing in with. You can see the macro of Scan really starting to push in. These 5 racks have been building, 6 racks even, building constantly, and as I say that, he's not building from them, but that's because he's focusing on the push at the front. A nice D-Matrix on this front Marine is going to be able to take down those units. That was a little bit hairy for a second, but he's breaking through now. He's not gone to the third base as of yet, so that's kind of annoying. The Marines are going to get caught off, but you can see the tanks coming in here again with more and more Marines. And this is a little bit too much for Colt to handle. He doesn't actually have that many units. His Defiler Mound is not going to be finished yet. I don't even think he's got it built. No, he hasn't. He's trying to use every single lava now to get units. But tanks are going to be able to take down the Sunkens on the high ground, the Sunken on the low ground as well. And just look at the units coming in from Scan now. The barracks production really ramping up. Tank production has been non-stop as well. And we see the command center coming in as well. There we go. GG! Scan takes down Cold in game number 1. Okay, so Scan dominating there against Cold. Cold did an incredibly good job early on though, finding damage where realistically he shouldn't have been able to get too much done. He went in against 2 Irradiates, still managed to kill a lot of bio, a lot of SCVs. Now the one unfortunate moment for him was he wasn't able to get the damage down on the vessels. He wasn't able to build the Scourge to kill them either. And that really did hurt him at the end of the game, because that push from Scan was just far too strong. I mean, obviously the big engagement in the middle of the map was the real thing that decided it all. But we'll be back with game number 2, which is going to be, and I just saw the names. You know what? I'm gonna wait for the replay to load. But I believe it is Buell versus... Yep, so it's Buell versus Marine. It's going to be a TVP, and we'll be back after this.